Okay, now regarding the program, okay, these are the what you call the program overview on what you want to do, okay, to produce graduates who have wide education knowledge and skills. Okay, so if you are from a teaching discipline or you're not from a teaching discipline, you will learn about content knowledge here, okay, and skills development, values development as well, meaning that as a teacher, what are the content knowledge that you need to know? Now, we don't focus on specific content knowledge like science content knowledge or maths content knowledge. We don't do that, but we do focus on what we call as teacher education content. Okay. Now, the second thing that you need to know is in terms of making decisions. So in your assignments, you will have presented with instances where you have to take decisions on certain educational situations. That means as a teacher, what will you do if you come across this situation and all that? Okay. And the third is to conduct. You will conduct research, not just for your capstone project, meaning your final project paper, but for a majority of your assignments will involve research starting from your first semester. Okay, so this part will be a little bit challenging. So if you do have any concerns regarding research, you need some extra guidance or whatnot, okay, then drop me an email. Maybe we can help to arrange like a short workshop or brief clinic for you all to get used to it. Okay. So this the program information that we have. This is a recognized MQA program, so no worries about whether the program is recognized or not. Accredited program. We have 3 intakes, okay, January, May, and September. So you're all in the second intake for this year. Okay, the classes are part-time, but there are classes on weekdays as well, weekends. Okay, that depends on the lecturer who sets for the class. Okay, it's a fully online mode. You will have 10 hours total for each subject. Okay, so either the lecturers will set for 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 5 times, or they will set 1 hour per week, like that. Okay, but however the lecturer sets the timetable, there's usually a good reason for that. Let's say, for instance, for research subjects, I normally set for 2 hours straight. The reason is because it's a research paper, so we are bringing forward the content knowledge so you can work on your assignment and then submit. Okay, so if you're going to have 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, then by the time you come to the 10th week, then you learn analysis. Following week, 2 weeks later, you have to submit. So we have a reason why we arrange it in that manner. Okay, so it's a maximum of 2 years, 6 semesters if you want to graduate on time. You can extend if you want to, but it's best not to. Okay, so these are the entry requirements. For a normal entry, you require a bachelor's degree from any discipline. Okay, minimum CGPA 2.5. If you don't have 2.5, then you need minimum 5 years working experience in a relevant field. Okay, now, or you can go through the what you call open entry channel, APEL A, okay, where you have to submit a portfolio or an interview. There are a few assessment methods that you have to go through in order to pass. So those online, if you have any questions, you can type it out as well. Huh? Okay, so this is an important part that you need to know, the program structure and concentrations. Okay, now I'm going to go a bit slow this part. So if you have any questions, check. Now there are, yes, you'll have the slides, I think. I don't have to. Okay, there are 3 concentrations that you have. Okay, now these are not specializations, these are concentrations. Okay, so the first one is with master project. Okay, if you don't want a master project, you can replace the master project with 3 in lieu subjects, we call them. So if you take up the 3 extra subjects, then you don't need to do your project paper. The second one is educational management concentration, where there is no project paper. You sit for educational management subjects. The third one is specifically targeted for active school teachers, school leadership. Okay, your project paper will be in the form of action research. It's a school leadership program. Okay, so the action research must be conducted within the environment of the school for the purpose of improving the school practices. Okay, So the first one, master project, is to be considered like a general master of education with the master project. So you have the list of subjects here: instructional tech, guidance and counseling, so on. Here you have your subject. And finally, you have 9 credits for the master project. So if you don't want the master project, you can replace it with the 3 courses: educational leadership, educational administration, sociology of education. Okay. Now, whether to take master project or not to take master project, I suggest it depends on what you want to do in the future. If you intend to do your PhD one way or another, you tend to proceed with your PhD. So that's for your master project. Okay. Now, these are the courses that are offered in each semester. Okay, so there are 3 courses offered in January semester, 3 in May, and so on. Okay. So the text in blue are coursework. So you have full coursework, so no exams. Okay. The text in black, you will have 60% assignment, 40% exam. Okay. Now, this is important to know. We don't necessarily repeat subject for the sake of, let's say, you missed it. Okay. So you have to plan what are the subjects that you really want to take on. Okay, if you intend to drop a subject, then plan it in such a way that when you come back to its cycle, you can take that subject up. Okay, so let's say for May semester, you'll have comparative education, measurement and evaluation, qualitative research methodology. So I teach qualitative. I'll be seeing you all again for this subject, 5103, qualitative research methodology. So in September, you'll have 3 subjects as well. Okay, now all the subjects generally are okay. Okay, it's not that difficult, it's okay, but it requires commitment in terms of time, in terms of effort. It requires commitment. Okay, but research subjects specifically can be challenging. Okay, they are coursework based, so you need to know your own tendency. Are you a person who likes exam or you don't like exam? Okay, so plan accordingly. Okay, now the master project, you'll these 3 subjects: academic writing, statistics, master project, are offered every semester. Okay, so if you need to drop any subject, let's say for any one semester you intend to take only 2 subjects, then I suggest you to drop either statistics or academic writing. So because they are offered every semester, so you can take them up anytime. And if you don't want a master project, then you have the 3 other subjects: socio, you have educational admin, and educational leadership. Any questions from those online? Okay, if none, we are moving on. Now, this is the educational management concentration. There are no master project for this. Okay, and then there is an even this also has APEL-C. Okay, APEL-C means you can apply for credit exemption or credit transfer, like that. Okay. Now, when you talk about credit exemption, it means that, let's say, for instance, you have been a teacher for a certain number of years, okay, and you think you are quite okay with that area. Okay, let's say school leadership, for example, you are in middle management or upper management, and you think you're quite okay. So apply for APEL-C. That means you don't have to sit for that subject, provided that you get that award. Okay, so you go for interview, prepare a portfolio to show that, okay, I've done this much of leadership work in my school, so I don't think I'm required to attend class. Skip it in that sense. Okay, now while this is a good way to move forward because it expedites whatever you want to do, but personally I would still suggest for you to sit for that subject. There are certain content knowledge that you can always learn. Okay, now these are the subjects that are offered every semester. Okay, so you can see that every semester there are more subjects that are offered. So in May semester, if you are in this specialization, then take those 3 subjects accordingly. Okay. Okay, now this is the third one, school leadership concentration. Okay, again, these are the subject, and they have a school leadership improvement project. SLIP, we call them, SLIP. So if you don't want to do, no, you have to do that actually. SLIP project, you have to do it. It's 6 credit action research, and it must be based in schools. So please make sure that you are an active teacher in the school. You not like going in and out of a school. No, you must be teaching in that particular school. Okay, and these are the subjects. And okay, any questions so far? Yes.
From your experience, which one is easier? First one, master project. Yeah, it will be up to the students also, but I want to see
which one is easier. Okay, we have someone over here asking a question on which one of the concentration is the easier one. Thank you for putting me on the spot. No, I'm joking. Okay, now between these three, personally, the school leadership is a little bit more challenging. Okay, yeah, the reason is because the project that you're going to do has to gear towards improving the school. So that's a little bit challenging. You have to identify what is wrong with any one practice or a system in the school that you intend to improve. And when you do the project, it's best to come up with a solution to it. Not just saying that, okay, I found a problem and this is a problem. No. Find a problem and find a solution to that. So that will be a bit more challenging. Okay. Now, if you intend to climb the ladder in school management, okay, it's something that you want, something that, like, if you have been somewhere around leadership area, then educational management would be. Educational management, the second one. Educational management will be good, okay, because it gives you the focus of telling that, okay, I'm in management aspect and this is what I want to perform. Okay, now if you intend to do something that is a bit more general, okay, in a sense that you're a science teacher, you're a maths teacher, these are niche subjects, okay, but you are taking up a general master of education. Okay, and that's a good thing, because if in case you intend to do your PhD one day, it gives you the leeway to expand into different expertise.
So you still refer to the second one?
The first one.
The first.
Okay, so like what subject do you teach in school? Business studies. In business studies, you can either go for the first or the second. Would be a good this one, but I think you would have already registered by the time you come for this briefing, right?
My choice is the second one. It's just that I'm not sure. So if I did the second one, should PhD,
if you can take up something similar like educational management PhD or educational leadership, then be okay. But it would be really odd, like all of a sudden you're doing business studies, business education. You see, because then your first degree is in something else, your second degree is in educational management, your third degree is in a different field. Yes, but within the realm of education, we pay attention to these details. Outside of the parameters, right, for people from a different discipline, for them, it's all education. They look at it, it's all education. But when you're in the system, there is a difference to it.
Just to say that if I attend to the PhD, first one will be better. I choose the second one.
You still can. You still can. PhD is free. Not free. I mean, you are free to do PhD in any discipline that you want. But my advice is that you have the exposure of doing a full-fledged research. You see. Now, even PhD, there are 2 types that you can do: doctorate of education, which is coursework based, where you sit for subject, and the final year you go for your project paper, or you can actually do a full research base. It's called Doctor of Philosophy. Okay, so the scope and the depth of work is a lot more in terms for research.
Somebody did research, otherwise, the second one. Second one said that research is tougher. the thing is, of course, I am not from the education market. I'm still the office, so I'm still adjusting to
True,
education.
true.
So research would be more.
Okay, there is a question here whether if you have not started with research from the beginning, whether it would be more challenging to continue with it. I think for me, at least, I think research is a lot easier. You know why? Because you only sit for 2 subjects and then you do research. And research is basically logical thinking. It's critical thinking. You find a problem, you want to find a few people to interview, we'll ask you, why do you choose these people? What's your basis of selecting them? You are going to tell us a story of what you have done. Okay? But if you take coursework, EDD, a coursework PhD, coursework doctorate, then you'll sit for exams, you sit for assignments, semester after semester after semester. So that's why I commented earlier whether are you a person who likes to sit for exams? Are you a person who likes to do assignments? There's a difference there.
So the research, online research on it face-to-face.
If you're here, you can always come to meet your supervisor. If you're here, you can always come to the campus to meet your supervisor for the supervision process. You see? Now, if you intend to put it this way, let's say if you are an education lecturer, let's say, okay, and you need knowledge on these subjects, and you're going to teach comparative education to a group of students. You're going to teach curriculum development to a group of students. Okay, then you need the content knowledge for this subject. Okay, but if you're teaching business studies, right? Okay, are these subjects relevant to you specifically? Exactly.
The thing is that I do not know this
Correct. When you go through the first semester, you'll have a rough idea what it is. You'll get a synopsis of each one. Okay, so by the time you know, so business studies, not directly.
Here, for both number 1 and number 2, or number 3, the main subjects that are the same.
Yeah. The end.
Towards at least the end.
Correct. Correct.
Can we, at least we have a few first to,
I think you can, after the first 2 semesters, maybe you can always shift. You can say that, okay, I took up the general one, but now I think I want educational management. You still can. That's not a problem. Okay, but my advice, take it with a pinch of salt. My advice is for you to chart your progression, how you want it to be, like that. Okay, because people from outside of the field, sometimes they think, oh, I have a master education, I have a PhD education, I'm done, like that. But when you apply for a job, and then they will say that there is no coherence between this and this. You see? So I have a friend who had the first degree in a completely different field, okay? But when she became a lecturer, she can only teach master level program, not undergraduate level, because she didn't have an undergraduate degree in that field. Like that. So there are a lot of rules to follow sometimes, okay? But this is something that you will get a hang of it once you go through the program, you talk to a few people and so on. Right? Okay. Okay. Program expectations. Okay. So you have My Inspire, the self-managed learning. It's an LMS. Okay, a learning management system. So your assignments will be posted there. Discussion with your tutors will be posted there, and so on. So the MED class is generally smaller compared to other programs, so you will only have 1 tutors in your class. In other courses that I teach, I have thousands of students, so you will split to a few tutors. Tutor A will take about this number of students, tutor B will take a number of students, tutor 3 will take a number of students, so all under the same subject. Okay, but in your case, you'll have only 1 tutor. Okay, so if you take up qualitative research method, then you'll be seeing me again for that subject. Okay. Okay, and then we have e-tutorial. You'll have 10 hours. I wouldn't want to say 10 e-tutorial. No, you'll have 10 hours. So like I said, you either will have 1 hour each week, or you'll have 2 hours like that. Okay, but if you do get 2 hours, then there'll be a gap, like 2 weeks gap between the first class and the second class. So that is where your commitment is really, really important. You have to make sure that you follow up. The momentum must be there every week for you to do something. Okay, so each tutorial session will be recorded, as in this session is also recorded. So the OUMGC, okay, they will send you a link for that recording and all that. You can access it on your own as well. Then you can go through the recording of the classes and go through the content again and again until you understand something. Then you can always contact your tutor. So some tutors give out their phone numbers, some tutors don't. Okay, they will interact either through email, if not the LMS. Okay, and then it's online learning. It's fully online. Your modules, everything is online. You can print out your modules if you want to, or you can just read them online as well. Okay. Okay, assessment mode. So some subjects you'll have continuous assessment, 60% assignment, and you have 40% exam. Okay, the exam will only be essay format. There's no multiple choice question, no MCQ, only essay format. Okay, and some courses are full coursework based, so 100% assignment. So however you perform from the start of that assignment is what will determine your grade to the end as well. Okay, and then you have your master project, okay, which is less than 15,000 words. So I believe it should be somewhere around 50 pages or so, typically about 50 pages. Okay, then you will find a problem to research, identify that, and then do. Okay, now again, let me reassure you, research is not difficult. Okay, but it does require a lot of thinking. Okay, so when you get into research, or if your assignment requires you to do research, okay, find a friend, a peer, talk to them, bounce ideas and see. Okay, then the other party must ask questions. Okay, a lot of issues happen. Let's say Selena, right? Okay, let's say I'm talking to Selena, my friend, and I present to her my idea. I say, okay, for the next class, I intend to present this. My assignment is like this I'm doing. And Selena doesn't want to offend me because she's my friend. Okay, so Selena wants to be very kind to me, so she just say, yes, very good, everything is fantastic. But when I present, then it's bad. Okay, so remember, there are no such thing as bad criticisms, okay, among friends, among peers, from the tutor to the students, from the students to the tutors as well. Okay, it's a matter of clarifying the situation for your assignment, what you want to do and how you intend to do. Okay, so find your colleagues, find your friends that you work well with, so when assignment comes, discuss. Okay, now that's it. When you do discuss and share ideas, then both parties must be ethical enough not to steal each other's work. That's another thing you have to be very careful of. Okay, if I steal your work or you steal my work, and then the similarity check will say, okay, very high similarities, and then both parties will come.
So when you say high similarity, I'm speaking out of when you say high similarity, means that we may have the points, let's say Prema and myself, we still have the points, but we write it in our own way.
Then it's fine.
That is fine.
That is fine.
Exactly what Prema is written.
Word by word, no. That is fine, okay? But in most cases, what happens is that you'll be bogged down with work at the right time when you have to submit your assignment. Reality works like that. You're free, work is free, here you're free. All of a sudden, work comes in, assignment submit, everything comes in together, kids are asking questions, spouse traveling, all sorts of things will come all together like that. So at that point in time, sometimes at the point of desperation, you'll just shut down. So this is where you have to be a bit careful. Okay, be ethical in your work. Okay, career opportunities and pathway to some of the questions I think Selena has been asking for. Now, bear in mind, okay, that this is not a specific type of a program. Now, some universities offer Master of Science Education, Master of Maths Education, okay, or Master of Educational Technology, something specific. Okay, now this kind of programs, right, if you have been teaching for the past 5 years, 10 years, and you most likely you will not come out of science education, then you do Master of Science Education. It enhances, it gives you credibility in what you do. Okay, but if you are not sure, you intend to expand one day, you want to go to college to teach one day, you want to go to higher education, or in your school sometimes you are assigned different subjects to teach, then take a general masters. Okay, so our program, regardless of the concentration, our programs are designed in such a way that it develops your qualities as a teacher, decision making that you need to take, the critical thinking involved. How do you design exam papers? How do you design curriculums? Curriculum means like your syllabus that you have, you want to change it. How do you change it? Why do you change it? You can justify. Okay. Now, some teachers, or if you do have a master in education, okay, and you don't pay attention to the content knowledge, then you can talk, you can give comments, but you're not able to justify anything. Okay, so in the field of education, sometimes we call this as coffee shop talk. Okay, coffee shop talk means that any one of us can comment on anything. My kids, their work is bad. Okay, I just comment on the teacher. I can do a better job. That teacher, what is she teaching in school? Blah, 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 blah. It will go on like that. Okay, but when the time comes for you to justify why the teacher did that, why are you saying this? I don't know. I don't know any theory. I don't know any models. I don't know any approaches to support what I say. Okay, so in this program, we teach you that. If you're going to comment on someone, you will identify what is lacking on it and how to improve that situation. Okay, so any one of the master program that you take, you can still move on to a doctoral program, no problem. Okay, this is just personal advice for you to chart your 5-year progression. Okay, so if you know your end outcome 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this is what I want, then you start from this master of education program. Okay, now some of you might think that this has happened before many times. Some of you will think that, oh, I'm just a teacher. What do I know? I'll remain as a teacher. 3 years later, 5 years later, suddenly I think I want to become a lecturer. I got an opportunity to become a lecturer. You know what I mean? Okay, sometimes luck knocks on the door in that sense. Okay, so plan what you want and always keep a buffer. What if, change of career progression, become a lecturer, higher education, you never know. Okay, so this program are targeted for teachers, educational leaders, school principals, subject matter experts, and so on. Okay, but we also target for consultants, program designers, meaning that you design workshops. Okay, you become trainers. Like my master's is in technology, educational technology. My PhD is in pedagogy, which I cover curriculum and instruction as well. So I conduct a lot of trainings for schools, international schools, public schools. Okay, so I design programs. I design programs and given to other companies, NGOs like that. So then you become trainers, can become consultants. Step into a school and tell what is right, what is wrong with how the school goes, the practice, and stuff like that. Okay, the program fees are all online. You can check the program fees online. Okay, not a problem. You can pay through EPF or cash, credit card, or things like that. Okay, now a bit about me. So if you're wondering why am I talking so much, okay, I'm the program director for the Master of Education program. Okay, so I have held several managerial roles. Okay, I've also the acting dean in my previous institution. I've been head of school, head of department, head of faculty, chair of student association. I'm an auditor. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you what is lacking in certain programs. I sit on hiring committees for lecturers. Okay, so I've published journal articles. I'm the executive editor previously for a journal. Okay, my PhD is in pedagogy, master's in educational related program, and my bachelor is in teaching of physics. Okay, so this is where a question was posed to me at that point in time. Okay, that I did my bachelor physics education. I was a physics teacher previously. Okay, so I teach at maths, stuff. Then my master's was technology. So someone questioned me, there's no relevance. Huh? So then I had to change my topic. I did technology for teaching of physics. I established that relevance. Okay, then for my PhD, I did on student-centered learning, which I covered everything that I need to cover. So if you do intend to become a lecturer one day, even the slightest possibility, you will need to know research. You have to know research. Okay, so these are some of the awards that I've received and talks that I've given in some colleges as well. So my area of expertise, the top one, two, three, four are my general area of expertise is what I do. Okay, the bottom four are specific things that I do under management and leadership. Okay, so if you're interested as a supervisor, things like that, then these are the things that I do. Leadership development programs in school, supervise school leadership, okay, and then educational technology, leadership in educational technology. That means what the principal does to support that kind of programs in school, professional development training programs I do for STEAM, science tech, previously was STEM, now it's STEAM, right? Those sort of things. Okay, so these are some of the papers that I've published. Okay, I've spoken about student isolation. Okay, so I've done quite a bit of research on this field. So in a sense that sometimes you attend class, all 10 tutorials you attend, you talk in class, but emotionally you are still isolated. You don't feel you're connected to the program. You don't feel you're connected to your peers. You don't feel you're connected to the studies in general. That happens. Okay, so I've done studies on profiling information seeking. Okay, for example, it means that how do you search for information? So I work very closely with libraries as well, where we teach you how to search for information, specific information, how to do citation, how to read through literature, how to do writing, and so on. Okay. Or the top one here, perception on practice of self-regulated strategies. That means how do you self-regulate your own learning process? How do you self-motivate and stuff like that? Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention, I also have a postgraduate diploma in TESOL, teaching of English, TESOL, like that. Okay. So anyway, that's about it. Okay, so these are my details. You can get in touch with me. My phone number is there, my email is there. But if you have any questions regarding admission, then you can email admissions. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to cater to questions online first, then I'll get back to you. Now, for those online, are there any questions? You have Daya here, Lavinia, Vanofla, and Rosie, Chow Yuen Moon, Shin Liang. Yep, any questions? Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, if there are no questions for now, okay, so I'll end the online session. But when you do have questions, okay, you can always email me and check further. Right? Thank you very much. Okay, I'll see you when I see you then. Okay, bye everyone.